Hey, twins!
All my
Beautiful twin sisters.
Sisters, beautiful twin sisters, beautiful twin sisters.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Beautiful Twin Sisters podcast. Today, we have a new beautiful twin sister, and it is none other than my mother! Yippee! We're the new beautiful twin sisters. You heard it here first. Ashley's been kicked out.
We have our merch.
Yeah, we're wearing the twinning kitty merch. So cutie.
And we have our kitty sitting right there.
Yeah, we have the real life kitty, but she's a little antisocial, so she's sitting perfectly out of frame. Sorry, guys. But today, when we're uploading this podcast, it's actually Mommy's birthday. February 4th. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you, Amber.
Yay. Everybody wish her happy birthday right now or else.
Thank you.
Or else. But I'm so happy to be here with you again today. You were one of our most popular guests ever, I would say.
Oh,
And people are dying for more.
Really? I don't know if I have more to give. We'll see.
I'll pry it out of you today. But I was thinking, because it's your birthday, maybe you could share a little bit of your motherly wisdom, anything important that you've learned over the past however many years of your life. So maybe starting out with day number 1. You were born in South Korea.
Yes.
What was that like? I'm just kidding. What can you tell us about your early years of life living in South Korea?
My early days in Korea just seems like a dream to me. So I don't really know if I remember very specific like events, or it was a peaceful childhood, and went to public school in South Korea where I think we walked like a mile. You know how when people say like, in my days we walked to school like miles. Literally in Korea, they didn't have like school bus system. So you have to get to school on your own. And even at really young age, I remember walking to school with my brother and my sister. And yeah, those were the days. And it was good life. My father was a teacher. He taught Korean language in Catholic girls' school in Seoul. So I remember going to visit him at work, and mom was a stay-home mom. And we weren't rich, but we were comfortable. And just most of my childhood, I remember there was this plan of moving to America, but it took like almost 6 or 7 years before we actually got here. So I wasn't sure if that was ever going to happen, but then it did. And then, here we are in America all these years. And it was good. I mean, I really didn't have any like issues, thinking back to my childhood. It was just peaceful.
You know what's funny?
Existence. Yeah.
Something that we've been talking about recently about your childhood is the games you played as a kid.
Oh, that's
because
right.
of Squid Game.
Yes, now that I'm watching Squid Game and it's a reference back to like childhood games and songs, it actually jogs some of my memories. And that song that they play when they're in that merry-go-round, that was a really popular song, and we all had to learn it and sing it when we were little.
Can we hear a little sample of the song?
Oh my goodness. 둥글게 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 둥글게. But that shows some more, but that they use these childhood games and stuff. And then I remember oh my goodness, I forgot the name already. Where you use the little marbles and you throw it. Yeah. See, this is how long ago my childhood seems. Now that I'm almost more than half a century old.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of long memory.
Yeah. You said you've never played Squid Game though, right?
No.
The like main game of the show, the finale from season 1. You know how they're like out on the field and it's like a square, circle, triangle shape? It was so boring in the show.
I don't know what that game is. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I think when we watched it, you were like, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that wasn't something that I remember. Yeah.
Squid Game is fake news.
No.
I'm just kidding.
But definitely the freeze game when they sing and you do that definitely was part of my childhood.
Oh, red light, green light?
Yeah.
Oh. Can we hear a sample of that?
Oh, I don't know. Hold on. No. What's the song? 꽃이 피었습니다. But I'm trying to think what kind of 꽃. 꽃 is flower.
Oh
my God. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm quizzing
remember.
you.
Yeah, no. But
It's been a while.
That's definitely it's been so long. Yeah, I left Korea when I was 12 and I'm 55 today.
You don't look a day over 25.
Yeah.
All the comments are always like, wait, I'm doing the math and I'm realizing
No,
your
I'm
mom
really
is
old.
older than she looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you had us when you were like a teenager. Like, I feel like that's how young you look.
No.
No?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting as I get older. Like when I turned 40, I thought that was going to be like some really remarkable year. And 40 came and went and it was nothing. Like I didn't feel any difference. Like I felt like I was still young. And I felt good because I knew I had more than like half of my life to live. When I hit 50, I was like, wow, like I'm half century old. And I think from 50 to 55, I'm starting to feel like I'm old, which is sad.
No.
But that's okay. You know, it's okay. My mom's still doing okay in her 80s, and her mother lived until 100. So hopefully I'll stay healthy and I'll be okay.
Yeah, I think everyone in our family has a pretty, like, all of our grandparents and great grandparents have lived a very long time. So I'm hoping that we'll have that same thing.
We just lost Mary Louise Alexander.
I know. My dad's
May
mom
she
just
rest
passed.
in peace.
Rest in peace.
She
But-
was in her 90s. I think she
she was
was a month
95.
short of 92. I should
just
know
said the
this.
wrong number
Yeah, I think
completely.
she's not that old. So she was 92, 90. I think she was almost 92.
I think that's still a lot longer than most people get, though. So
yeah.
that is good.
So it's interesting to me because when I was little, I think I really wanted to be a mom. And I think I always wanted to be a stay-home mom, which didn't happen.
You're
so
a
I felt
working
like
woman.
I felt like I was a little cheated because I really wanted to just be a stay-home mom. And I was like, I have to go through all these years of school to be a doctor. And like, why? Like, why can't I just stay home with the kids? And looking back, I think being a mom is the toughest job in the world.
Yeah.
It's not about the occupation. I think being a mom, stay-home mom, is such tough work. Looking back, I just wish there was like a book that I could have like used as a reference, but a lot of it you just have to do it on your own.
Yeah.
And those were some tough times, yeah.
Raising those
kids. And I wanted 3 children, and I have 3 beautiful children, and I'm so blessed with that. But looking back, being a mom was really a lot of work. And I think, with you guys approaching the age where you're going to be thinking about marriages and things like that, find a good partner and find the partner that's going to be a good father to your children.
Yeah.
And also know that having a child doesn't add to the relationship. If anything at all, it challenges the relationship even more. So make sure you're ready. And when you have your children, really make impactful first 4 or 5 years of their lives. They set their personality and develops during those first critical years. So you really have to spend and devote your time into your children if you want to make a difference. So that would be my parenting advice.
That's some good advice.
Yeah.
I feel like toddlers are so exhausting.
They are exhausting.
Were we
You guys were exhausting. Yeah. And, Ashley was full of creative, bad ideas, you know, not bad, like in a, terrible, like
evil way,
but she was always into turning the house upside down and just, always wanted to create something. And those were tough times because then somebody's got to clean up after them. So it's exhausting. But looking back, those were some of my best years, as tough as they were.
Yeah.
I would love to live those years again because those were really just fun times.
Yeah. I think little tastes of toddlers are fun, but I think actually having to raise toddlers is a whole nother thing. 24/7 raising a toddler is so crazy because you don't ever really get a break.
No.
And I remember there was a point one day, I think I was 5 or 6, and I was pissing dad off really bad. I forget why, but I was just nagging him. I was like, why aren't you doing this for me? Me. And it was all about me. And he was like, do you realize, oh my God, how do I phrase this? It literally shifted my brain. Dad literally stopped me. He was like, Amber, do you realize I am a person outside of being your dad? I have lived a whole life and you are not the center of the world. I am also a person. Everyone has things to do. And I was like, what the heck? What do you mean? Because he said it in an actual nice way. I'm kind of rephrasing it weird, but he was basically telling me
you gotta wait for your turn until he gets everything else done.
Yeah.
What was it that you were asking him to do? Do you know?
I forget. I think I wanted to like
Go somewhere and do something. Daddy's always a busy man. He's
Dad
always
is a busy
doing,
man.
10 different projects. So.
It was something about bedtime, I remember, but I
yeah?
forget what it was.
Aw.
I was pretty annoying during bedtime because I did not like going to sleep. But I remember that he was just like, you have to realize, like, you have to work with me. Like, you can't always get your way. We're all like people with full lives. Like, I'm not immediately going to drop everything and do everything you say because like things also have to work out. I don't know.
You should have said, but it's me.
But it's me. I should have said, but I'm a princess. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think like
I can't believe he would have talked to you in that tone when you're that little.
Let me think. It was something like, it was good because then I realized like, oh, my parents are actual people and like they get stressed out about things and it's not like everything is going to be saved if they do what I want. Like it's still, I don't know. Life is hard.
That makes sense. No, I'm glad that he kind of, gave you a broader,
View of the
world. And,
yeah. Because I think toddlers are very like tunnel
focused,
visioned. Everything's about them.
Self-centered, yeah.
And at some point, kids gotta realize like everybody's living their own lives. Everyone has their individual paths.
Yeah.
It can't all be about you, which I don't know. I think also as a middle child, I kind of got more of a taste of that than maybe the youngest and oldest children because they got everything.
I'm a middle child myself. I always felt like I was a little bit neglected. Not neglected, but just pushed aside a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think it helps because then you end up being more aware of things because I feel like you can watch your older sibling or your younger sibling act out a bit too much or be too dramatic. And then as a child, you're kind of like, I am like witnessing craziness in front of me and I'm learning from my siblings.
Sure.
And I don't know. That's kind of how I felt at least because I had some crazy siblings. I got to be honest. I'm just kidding.
No, you guys were fun. You guys were fun.
Does grandma tell you any stories of like when you were a kid, how you behaved?
No.
No?
No, I don't think she's ever recalled any stories about me.
What?
In any particular way.
Classic.
I don't really even know if we ever talked about my childhood.
Middle child thing.
Middle child, I'm telling you.
No.
But one thing that I have realized as I get older, and we've lost my father a few years ago, and I see my mother getting old, is that I think you forget that your mother was a little girl.
I know.
And that this is her first time living her life as well. And I think as a child myself, I always thought like my parents know everything. Of course they know everything. They're they're adults. They know. But that's not true.
Yeah.
And you have to give them some grace. And you also have to really be mindful to include them in like your adventures in your life because you just think, oh, they're old. They don't want to go anywhere. They don't want to do anything. But then you realize they're living their life for the first time and you want to be able to provide them, fun and adventurous activities and things like that. So yeah, that's one thing that I realized.
Yeah. I feel like I'm also realizing that too. Because I, as a kid, obviously thought the same thing where I was like, my parents have everything figured out. Their lives are like done because like they have jobs. Like there's nothing else. Like their only job is to like be my parent now. And I realized like, no, everyone keeps living their lives like completely until the moment they pass. And like, I don't know, every day should be special. Every day should be fun. I feel like my parents are my best friends now that I'm older. Like I love to hang out with you guys. And I think like you were saying, I think my favorite part of being older now and like being able to kind of provide a little bit back for you guys as my parents is like, I like being able to hang out with the parents without the stress of you guys having to like take over everything we do. Because I know as kids, like family vacations and like us doing sports, you had to plan so much stuff and all the schedules were fully on your guys' backs. So I'm happy now that all the kids are older, we kind of work as a team more and the kids can provide a little bit back for the parents instead of it all being on you guys. So I agree.
Yeah, Amber really takes good care of us. And even this past week after Grandma died and you came up and you cooked us food, you're very nurturing.
Oh, thanks.
And
well,
she's really thoughtful.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm also lucky I don't have anything really tying me to New York City at the moment. I know Andrew came up too because he somehow had a free week off of work. I don't know how, but Ashley had to stay behind and she was really sad that she couldn't make it back up because she has to travel right now.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, all the siblings I know are very dedicated to like giving back to you guys. I think because growing up and getting older, we see how much you gave us, and we're like, oh my God, it's literally priority number one to repay our parents. So yeah, I'm happy I get to spend time with you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's all we really ever want as parents of empty nesters, is to have you guys come back home and be happy and spend some time with us. So I'm grateful that you guys live close by, that you guys can step by often. So it's been good. It has
been a lot of fun. And I think, this is something else that's always kind of on the back of our minds. I feel like now that all the kids are older and we're maybe going to have to think about where we're all going to settle down at some point, I wanted to ask you, because you've been living in upstate New York for the past, I don't know how many years, 25 years?
27, 28 years. Yeah.
Wow. That's a long time to be living in the tundra.
I know. And
Yeah.
I've always thought in some weird way that I was going to make a trip back to Maryland or just move to Maryland.
Oh, really?
And it never happened. And I mean, I think just the opportunity didn't come up. And what I should have done, looking back on my life, is that there's not a whole lot that I regret. But what we should have done is when Daddy and I graduated from school and we're looking to get licensed to, work, we should have, I should have pushed more to go down to South a little bit. Like I wanted to be in Virginia, Maryland, DC, that area.
Oh, because that's where you grew
that's
up.
where I'm from and that's where I wanted to be. But then Daddy said, oh, let's just go back to Albany. And I really feel like I kind of gave in without really too much of a fight.
Yeah.
And I wish in a way that I just kind of insisted that I wanted to be down there. I mean, this is not a bad area to raise a family. It's a really quiet town.
It's where my dad grew up too.
Yeah,
so my
But
dad's been
it's
here his whole life.
lacking some culture and just, it's just kind of boring around here. So that's the only regret, is that I should have fought more for what I wanted at the time, which was to be closer to my parents and be in a better, like a bigger metropolitan area. Because I realized, although, it's been a nice area to raise the family because it's really quiet area and we are in a decent part of town, that where you raise your family really has a huge bearing on your children, just the way they are raised, the friends that they make and the circles they run in. So like in a way, I wish it was more multicultural, like where you guys grew up, because I feel like it's a little different now, but when you guys were growing up,
It's very
white, very, very white, very like country folk kind of beliefs. So
I think honestly, I really like where we grew up, except for the fact that it's very white. I have to agree. We just started.
It's a nice quiet town.
Yeah, I think we're lucky. Like Andrew's best friends are like our next door neighbors pretty much.
Yeah.
And we've
they
made
were
a
fun
lot of
kids.
like where we literally planted ourselves was very lucky, I feel like. But we did just get our first boba shop in this town like 2 years ago. Like that's
we
how
didn't even know
late-
what boa was, right?
Right. We did. I barely knew what boba was when I went to college, which was 2019.
I
Like,
think my friend Elena introduced that to us how long ago? Like 12 years ago, maybe
When we
even
were
15
kids.
years ago.
In DC,
And she was
right?
trying to explain to me what a boba tea was, and we're like, what, bubble tea? Like what, bubble tea?
Yeah.
Boba tea? Like we were so confused. And look at this now, it's a phenomenon. Everybody's drinking boba tea, and there's so many boba tea shops out in California, and I'm sure there's a lot more down in Maryland compared to here. But I mean, upstate New York, it takes a long time for anything that's exotic to come up this way. So I feel like in a way I kind of did you guys a disservice by putting you guys in such like an old town upstate New York, but it's okay.
it works out.
I
I think we were lucky that we were able to expand out a little bit. Like for me and Andrew during college, and Ashley went to college in DC for a bit too. So we definitely had a pretty like sheltered childhood, like not being exposed
it was very
to many
sheltered.
things.
Yeah,
But
do you wish that you grew up in a bigger town? No,
I have no
You don't
regrets.
know.
I really like
okay.
because you guys
Good.
keep talking about wanting to like move out of this house at some point. You keep saying it.
I
And
don't
I
think
don't-
Daddy ever wants to move out, but I always feel like I should be like in a warmer city.
And I agree, but I think we should not sell this house because I like this house. This is where I grew up. But I do really want to have all of the siblings and you and Dad live in like Southern California one day because
That'd be
that's where
great.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Newport Beach.
Newport Beach.
I feel at home there.
Right? Like every
Yeah.
time you visit
I
Southern
love that
California,
area.
it's so
Southern
fun.
California is beautiful.
Right? And like every day you have a full opportunity to live your life because it's warm weather year round.
Yeah.
Like here you are cold and blizzarded in every single day except for like 3 months of the year, I swear. So it is a little tough to enjoy your life when you live in upstate New York. But I know Andrew and I went to college in SoCal and we've kind of like planted our own roots there. So I think it will work one day for all of us to kind of migrate that way.
Yeah.
And I want
I love
everyone
that
to-
Jamboree, whatever.
Diamond Jamboree Plaza.
Jamboree Plaza
is the-
in Irvine. I mean, Irvine, I guess it is more industrial, but I hear a lot of Korean celebrities are moving to Irvine.
Irvine.
And I was like, I read something in Korean TikTok and I was like, Irvine. It took me forever to figure out they were talking about
Oh.
Irvine. But yeah,
so
so I was
funny.
like, oh, that's the, new Koreatown kind of.
Yeah, it's the next hot spot.
Yeah. But I love California and I love the culture there. I love the weather there. So
Yeah.
the dream is to maybe live in somewhere like that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, one of these days. I think once we all start settling down and getting married, as you know,
my
we'll all
goodness,
try and
you
get
guys
over
are
there.
getting older.
Oh no.
But yeah, so going back to me growing up and going through school
oh yeah.
and meeting dad, just make sure that you marry a person with a good credit rating.
What? Did Dad not have a good credit
No,
rating?
he does.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like,
That's
wait.
what I'm saying. So, like, I think one way that you could kind of measure a person, not just from their personality and just like everything, but like, I think you should ask your date, like, what is your
Credit
rate-
score?
Credit score. Because I think that reflects the person's like
Responsibility
Yes.
level. Yeah.
for sure. And I know it's a kind of a weird thing, but like looking back on it, I'm like, that credit score really does explain a lot about the person because it shows your responsibility toward money. And you don't have to have a lot of money to be happy, but I think you have to know how to manage money. So that's kind of a factor that you can use to weed out the losers.
Wow.
This is advice to the girls who are
yes.
yes.
Listen
And,
to Mama Alexander. She
yes.
knows best.
Or just find a partner who's like really thoughtful, and that would make a good parent for your children. Not just like your spouse, but like has to be somebody who likes to like raise children and know how to play with children.
Yeah, I think a lot of people got boyfriends
Yeah.
that maybe aren't built to be a family man.
Yeah.
Time to-
And also just because like you stay in a relationship for many years, sometimes girls are afraid to like walk away from it.
Yeah.
Do not ever stay with a cheater. Never. Because
Oh.
that is, I think once a cheater is always a cheater. Like you never want to deal with that sort of personality, even if they beg you. And the longer you stay with somebody in a relationship, that doesn't mean it's always going to end up in marriage. So when you realize things are not good, girls, walk away. You're worth more than that. Walk away and don't regret because you're going to stick around for another 2 years, crying your eyes out, and then realize it's not a good relationship. So anytime
Exactly.
you get that first red flag waving in your face, walk away. And don't waste your perfect great years, your mid-20s are like your perfect years. Don't waste it on the wrong guys, girls.
Don't waste
this
any
becoming
years.
a dating show.
I know.
What's going on?
This is what the people need, though. I like hearing your dating advice. It's entertaining for me, too.
I just think, I think that you got to find the right person. And for guys, I think they're going to marry when they want to get married. Like you can't force a guy to marry you and you can't force a guy to like propose to you. So if you get the vibe that, your boyfriend isn't the one who's going to settle down,
It's time to step away.
it's time to walk away.
Yeah.
And just start over because your time is more important than the man's time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's talk about Singles Inferno.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Bro. Oh,
It's already season 4. Can you believe it?
I
can't. I
know.
mean, I feel like we just started watching it. I don't watch a lot of Korean stuff, but
Yeah.
Singles Inferno
That's a
is
good one.
hilarious to us. So when Amber comes home during the winter season, we typically watch a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And we are still watching a little bit of Squid Games. But Squid Game, as interesting as it is, I'm not big on like the morbid, like sort of themed movie. So
Yeah.
Singles Inferno is just titillating fun.
Yes. It's so funny to watch.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, who are our favorites and least favorites this season?
As far as girls,
Sure.
I really like the smiley girl named Eugene, although
too.
people said that she's
Doing too much.
too much. And maybe she does try to
Whatever.
do a little bit of aggio, but I feel like she's
I think she has the best personality.
yeah, but then they made her sound like she was unhinged, but I don't really think that swinging scene was all that bad. You know, maybe
Right?
she was just
Who
having fun because she
cares?
was drunk. I don't even know. But what I didn't like is how that guy with the long hair treated her the day after.
Yes.
Yeah, I
he
thought
literally
he was kind of
pushed her aside
pushed
and
her
ignored
aside
her.
and walked away, which I thought was really bad.
So
I do
weird.
think Xian, I think is very pretty.
Okay, she's like the most
And,
popular one.
Yeah, she's very popular. I think she's okay, but maybe she doesn't know how to like listen to her own head. Like when it comes to that guy
Jungsu. Jungsu.
Chunsu, I think,
Yeah.
the tall guy with the cafe owner, when he's like flirting with all the other girls and he's nice to everybody else. You know, and that doesn't make you feel good because then you realize he's flirting with everybody
Everyone.
else and not just her.
Yeah.
But I think she just wants to keep on seeing him. So the season's not over, so I don't know how everything ends, but those are some standouts.
It might be over by the time we post this. Maybe not. I know we're waiting for more episodes right now.
How many episodes have we watched so far?
We watched up to episode 6.
Already? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we were up to like 3 or 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now I'm beginning to somewhat figure out who's who. Initially, I couldn't figure out who's who because I thought they all looked very similar.
But now I can tell them apart.
yeah,
of it.
now they're a little bit, the personalities are coming out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my favorite girl is Eugen as well.
Yeah.
And also for context, the swing scene that everybody's talking about, if you haven't watched this show, basically this girl Eugen, who's very smiley, drank a little too much, got on the swing set at this like whatever filming space and just starts swinging. And then everyone at a table starts being like, oh my God, is she okay? I think she's too drunk. The next day, everyone kind of like shunned her. I feel like
I
for
thought it was a
being
little
too
catty, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, who cares? Let the girl swing.
Yeah.
What? I don't know. And then I have to say my favorite guys would be Theo, just because he's like
Teo?
he's a little weird, but I like him.
I don't know. I mean, I think personality-wise, he's okay, and I like the fact that he picked the one girl that he likes, that he
And
wants to
sticks
kind of
to her.
sticks to her. So that's kind of admirable. Yeah,
And he's open
thing.
about his feelings. So I like
yeah,
that.
he seems okay.
But he
He's
is a
okay.
little crazy. He's a little out there.
Yeah, I think they all try to be a little quirky on the show, so then you
Yeah.
just don't know.
Someone that I'm kind of rooting for is Taewon. The like really lanky guy who had the horrible intro where he was like, I fall in love with myself when I look in the
with
mirror.
nose,
Yeah.
yeah. Supposedly he's a very famous model in Korea.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Whoa.
So I think people knew that he was like some famous model. I
Okay.
mean, he seemed okay. I mean, he came across very narcissistic because
At the
that
beginning.
introductory statement, like, yeah, the thing that they posted maybe not really himself.
I
Maybe
hope
they
a
said it to
producer
be,
told
interesting.
him. Yeah.
But yeah, and he likes the girl who
Jian.
but he really didn't look good when he was on that game on the plank.
Oh my
he
God.
was so clumsy.
Yeah, he was like the most awkward guy
yeah,
ever.
he seemed very awkward there. So
Bro.
that kind of lost some points.
Yeah, he lost
But
some
so far
aura
it's been
points.
pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we'll
think
see how
also
everything works out.
I think also a reason why I want to root for Taewon is because he kind of reminds me of Pono. He's a little bit like
Little tall, little goofy,
Little, like,
okay.
awkward, but then also kind of has like the model face. So I'm like,
Yes.
I hope
In the
he-
same sense that I think Thanos, the guy from
I'm a
the-
legend, Thanos.
Yeah, from Squid
Games?
Games. I think Pono looks more like him.
Really?
Yeah, but
Maybe
doesn't
mix.
act like him, I guess. Yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
It's so funny. I just like to pick whoever looks like Pono and I say, that's my favorite, even if they're a little weird. I'm just kidding.
No. He seems
But-
like a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've been
Taehyun.
watching a lot of the Taehyun or is it Taewon? I don't know.
K1? I don't know. I gotta look at my
Whatever.
thing. I know what they look like. I don't know I just haven't really
names.
committed their names to my memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love coming home over January because I know the next Singles Inferno season is coming out. We got overloaded with Singles Inferno, Squid Game, but then they both ran out way too quick. So now
Oh yeah,
we've
we
kinda
kind
been
of
sitting
watched
here.
it, for a few days in a row, and then we're like, no more episodes. We gotta wait for the new episodes to come
Oh
out.
my gosh.
No,
But
it's
that's
been
so
fun.
Guys, if you have any movie or show recommendations, drop it for us. Because we've, for the past couple days, just been sitting on the couch, like staring forward with nothing to watch. So we need something new.
We've been doing some cleaning out of the closet still, so it was kind of fun
Yeah.
to see some of the stuff that I had put away. I found a lot of drawings that you had given me, little cards that you have written for me.
That's so
and I was
cute.
sorting through those, and yeah, those are really good memories. So
Yeah.
those are kind of things that I do when I have a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a note that you just put on the counter that was like from me to Ashley. And I guess it was on my birthday. I wrote this note to Ashley that said, oh, wait, can I just grab it? I can't remember what it said.
Oh,
This is the note?
Yeah. I
So
remember
funny.
that. That's so cute.
Okay, it says, too cute, Ashley. Thanks. You made my day. And what day is that? Amber Day. Heart, heart, heart from Amber. And I guess that was
10th birthday,
my
2011.
Yeah, that was so funny. I was like, what? Why did I wrote that like so official, like.
No, but I love to save little things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something that easily could have been thrown away, but now
No, I saved it.
20 or 14 years later, I'm looking at it and it's so
And your
funny.
handwriting is still the same.
Not really.
I think so. That looks like a kid's handwriting. I think your handwriting is still the same.
It's a little different, but it definitely still looks like my handwriting.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Aw.
I love it. But yeah, we've been trying to downsize all of our stuff in our house because we've collected a lot of clothes over the years.
There's a lot of stuff in the house that we have to declutter.
Especially
so
from
continue.
thrifting.
Yeah, we'll
That was
continue
bad.
to declutter this spring and organize.
Yeah, because I feel like we kind of have that mentality of like, oh no, I don't want to get rid of anything because I feel bad for getting rid of stuff. But then you end up with like a collection of things that you're never going to touch again. And it's like, at some point, it's got to go. So yeah, we've been trying to get on our productive grind, get a little cleanup in.
Now, I just think I have stuff that you guys like brought back from your college days.
Yeah.
Your different apartment places. And then, so there's a lot of things to be sorted
through.
Yeah. Oh, look at my cat. So cute.
She's so funny. Here, wait, I'll take a photo of what Kitty looks like right now and we'll insert it. Here we say cheese, Mom.
Cheese.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, well, there you guys go. I also wanted to ask, out of every phase of your life that you've had, from childhood, teenagerhood, adulthood, and now having grown-up kids, what phase of your life do you think was the most impactful for you? What kind of like shaped you as a person the most?
I think there was a switch in my head that happened like in my mid-20s where I finally felt comfortable in my skin. And I think growing up, I never felt like I was enough, that I was like pretty enough, smart enough, and just always felt like I was like trying to be better, but like wasn't there. And then I think by the time I hit about 24 is when I thought to myself, like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, like I can do it all. And so that is, I think, just maybe just maturing and accepting yourself.
Yeah.
And realize that that aging process is interesting because every day when you think about it, you are the oldest that you've ever been, but this is the youngest you'll ever be.
Yeah.
So you really have to capture the moment and live your everyday, with some purpose. And those mid-20s were probably the most productive years of my life. And I think once I was almost done with school and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, I felt like I've kind of made it. So, and those were things that I kind of had to work on my own instead of like relying on my parents and stuff. So I feel like the mid-20s were probably the most like important times of my life. I wouldn't say really impactful.
Yeah.
impactful. I think raising you guys may have been the most impactful times, I guess, because I really enjoyed relearning things with you guys.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
really enjoyed like doing homeworks and projects with you guys.
Oh my God.
And
yeah.
yeah, that's just it's funny, but I really enjoys those years, and I really try to be mindful and try to like influence you guys in any way possible. And it was tough, and it didn't always go as I wished, but I think it was okay, right? You guys all turned out all right.
Yeah, that's so funny. I remember
know.
doing homework with you as a kid, and you'd always be like, "I love this. Like, isn't this so much fun?"
Yeah.
And you'd talk about like our school lunches and be like, "Oh, I wish I could eat a school
I love
lunch right
school
now."
lunches.
I know.
I don't know why people complain about school lunches. I mean, somebody's making you food.
Yeah,
And even, I guess, yeah, I mean, college food was okay. I really liked my University of Maryland college food like that. I was no complaint there. I mean, I guess middle school, high school, yeah, school lunches could be a little better, but I was thankful that there was food, and it's just, it's whatever.
yeah.
So
I remember
I
as a
liked
kid,
all that, yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid, you would always say stuff like that, and I was like, "Why do you like this stuff so
I
much?"
know, and you guys didn't want to eat school lunch, and I had to pack your school
Well,
lunch. What a pain on the butt.
I know, I'm
But
sorry.
That's okay.
Well, what I have to say is school lunch before Michelle Obama was so good because they put
and
like,
then Michelle made everything healthy
made it
and took
healthy.
away all the yummy food.
and that's when I wanted to stop eating school lunch. So blame Michelle.
Maybe.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, as a kid, you were always bringing up like how much like you wish you could go to school for a day or like learn everything again. And I was like, why do
Yeah.
you keep saying that? And now that I'm like 23, I'm like, bro, I want to go back to
No.
elementary school.
I'm gonna tell you this. Another advice is that enjoy your school years, because when you're in it, you think like, I can't wait till I graduate and I'm working. It's overrated, people.
Yeah.
Stay in school because that's the best time when your friends are still like all the people in your age groups are with you and you guys are all going through it together. Those are going to be some of your best years of life. And you're never going to connect with other people in that deep level of friendship ever again, because when
Yeah.
you grow older and you can be friends with like your coworkers or even other like parents, they're all going through different stages of their life, so there's not that unity like connection of being at school doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
I wish I would have enjoyed those years a little bit more, because looking back, being in school, those are the best years of your life.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I wish I could go to a high school class again right now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that long ago for me, but I
Yeah.
miss that community and being in a room of so many different people, but we're all from the same town. We're all in the
Yeah.
same stage of life together. And I wish, I don't know, even in college, I was aware of the fact that like one day I would graduate and miss these people, but I still didn't really take enough advantage of it, just because when you're in the moment, you're so like tunnel vision on just getting it over with and just trying to get good grades and like make it through whatever crazy business you're doing in your life. So I wish I took better advantage of it too.
Yeah.
Which is a little sad.
But I certainly don't miss all those exams though. Oh, there were some projects and exams that were just like cloud over my head.
I know. And I remember you always saying that you have a recurring nightmare.
Yeah, for years, even after I had graduated, one recurring nightmare is like me waking up, taking a test. Like I would be, my dream would be that I'll be taking a test and looking at the questions, not knowing what I just read and not knowing the answer. And then I'll be like, and then I literally wake myself up realizing that it's a dream, and then wake up and go, oh my gosh, I never have to take those tests again. Yes, that was just a dream.
Oh my
But that
God.
was like recurring thing. And the other thing that I used to have recurring dreams about is standing in front of my locker, those lockers that
Yeah.
are built into the thing, and then forgetting my number. I don't know why that always happened to me. What does that mean? Somebody tell me. But I haven't had a dream like that in years, but I remember even like maybe 10 years after I was done with school and I was working, every once in a while I would still have that sort of dream. I haven't had any bad dreams in years, so
That's good. You were talking about it a couple days ago, and you said one day you just had to tell yourself, I am never going to take a high school exam again.
Yeah.
I'm never going to open a locker again. And then your
Yeah.
brain just stopped giving
I
you
think
those
so.
nightmares, right?
Yeah. And I
That's
think
so funny.
Just,
I need to do that because I have a
You
recurring
still?
dream of me missing the bus.
Oh,
but you
that's
can understand that because
weird.
I was missing the
You
bus.
were
every
always,
day.
the last one to run out.
It was so bad. Like terror every morning.
Really?
Yeah, and so then I have nightmares of me missing the bus,
I mean, our
running
school
down the
bus
street.
stop was so early, and oftentimes it was like dark outside when you guys were going.
Yeah.
Like 6:30 in the morning. It was bad.
So bad.
Yeah, and I remember seeing kids like chasing after the bus after they missed it. And then the
Yeah.
bus driver like supposedly can't stop and pick them up. I don't know. There was some chaos.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw lots of kids running after the bus 24/7. And even one time, the bus driver, I swear it was so funny, he opened the doors and then shut them on this kid's face. And the kid was literally like, his nose was on the door and the bus driver just drove away. And I don't know why.
Like, bus drivers are.
I think he just, the bus driver just did not see the kid somehow. But I remember just watching us drive past a kid and being like, oh no, like I could just miss the bus for no reason.
Yeah, I think I saw the next door neighbor kid
Sprinting
like
down.
sprinting down, trying to bang on the side of the bus, and he literally just drove off. And I was like, that's so mean. I'm sure he heard him.
I think
I
our
don't
bus
know.
driver had something against us because he drove past everyone.
No, yeah. I think he was just on a time
Crunch,
limit.
yeah.
So yeah, if you don't get in the bus like that, then you're done.
It makes sense, but that killed me.
Yeah, those are tough times, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
That is so funny. But also what you were saying about finding your confidence in your mid 20s, I think that is so interesting because I'm also reaching my mid 20s. And I think I kind of found my confidence a little early. Thank God.
I hope so. Yeah,
right?
I hope
feel
so.
weird saying that as if it's like a flex,
No.
but no, I feel like once
What age was that for you?
for me, it was when I went to college as a freshman.
Oh,
And
like 18?
18. And I
Wow,
still
good for you.
struggled with it a good amount.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of just like accepting myself for like how I look, like I kind of really early just realized like there's literally nothing I can do about this. And then I just kind of sucked it up and was like, I'm just going to live my life knowing like I'm fine. Like there's nothing I can do about it. And like, honestly, I'm fine. But I think...
I think like I think that's great that you felt that confidence.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of my insecurity came from the fact that like in a way I always felt like I was out of sort. Like as an immigrant growing
I
up,
think that
I
might
never
be-
felt like I was part of like the broader society. Like I always felt like an outsider a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, and maybe I was a little embarrassed, like when I first came to America, that I didn't speak perfect English. And always that may have been part of why I felt insecure. So it took a long time for
Yeah.
me. Yeah, I literally think it was like 22, 23, 24.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, I think mine might also be because I moved to Southern California where it's
By
more
yourself?
diverse and it's literally like the hub of Asian Americans. So I think when I
Maybe.
arrived there, I was like, I am.
You found your people?
Yeah, I literally found my people and I'm chilling. But I think
Yeah.
it's so crazy to hear you say that because everybody, look at my mother. She is a
Oh,
beautiful, accomplished
no.
woman, a perfect mom, and she's still insecure. So everybody's got their insecurities, even the most perfect people out there. So just know everyone is chilling. You're only hurting yourself more by harping on your own like insecurities. So just take a deep breath and move forward. I think the thing that I still struggle with, because I've like kind of accepted my like physical being, but something that still gets to me is like accepting my personality.
Amber, you got the best personality ever.
What? No. Because I feel like I am so like a weird.
But your personality is perfect, Amber. I wouldn't change a thing about you.
What
You are
the
perfect.
heck?
You really
Oh,
are.
thanks, Mom.
You're
No, I feel like
great.
I always say like embarrassing things, or I'm always like being.
that's just
I don't fit the
us
like.
being Alexanders.
Maybe
Yeah.
because I don't know. I always feel like I'm out of place in like a social setting.
No
like,
way.
I'm always the weird one.
Oh no,
I don't know.
I
maybe
think,
not.
Yeah, I think we're both like introverts who are forced to be extroverts at times,
and we're like too
And that's-
self-aware.
Yeah, so we're too like worried about what other people think about us.
Yeah.
But reality is, you gotta just like forget about that because people don't really look at you as closely as you think you're being looked at.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you just have to be yourself. And even if you are at a party where you don't know anybody and you're holding up the wall, that's okay.
because nobody's really
Nobody
paying
cares.
attention.
As
Yeah.
long as, you know, you got something to look at and you're enjoying yourself, just let it be. You don't have to be the center of attention. You don't have to be talking to 20 different people. You just have to get out and do something. So if
Yeah.
that's what you want to do it. If you want to stay home and read a book and be yourself, that's okay too.
Exactly.
But those are things I think it took me a while to understand, because I always thought like successful people are doing 100 things and they're the center of attention and they're meeting people, they're out there partying, and you know that missing out, you know, that
FOMO,
the FOMO is real, but then you realize it's not necessary in life. It's what gives you peace in your heart is
Yeah.
important.
Exactly.
So do what makes you happy, and if you're an introvert, just accept the fact that you're an introvert, and that's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think everyone thinks there's like this expectation to perform in social settings and like be the funniest person in the room and be the coolest and whatever. But
Yeah.
rooms are always filled with many people that are just chilling, and no one really cares. No one is looking at you as hard as you think. Everybody's too worried about themselves. So just take a deep breath and chill.
That's right.
Yeah. Maybe we should get into our favorites of the week, perhaps. Do you remember how to do this? It's our
Yes, I'm trying to think what my favorites are. You go ahead if you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorites of the week are Singles Inferno, the Korean dating show, and spending time with my parents, of course. I love being home with you guys. And then my favorite thing about myself is that I know how to take a break when I need it. I am good at getting my work done and then having proper relaxation time instead of always thinking about work in the back of my head. I think I'm pretty good at shutting it off. And I've noticed that this week I feel a bit better about my division between work and me time.
Oh,
Yay.
good.
Yeah. What are your favorites?
Favorite thing of the week
Yeah.
is that you and Andrew came home and you've been sticking around, and we did a lot of cooking. We did really delicious cooking.
Oh
Amber's a
my
great cook,
Oh,
so
thank
I
you.
really appreciated tasting all the delicious food and having you here. So that's my favorite of the week.
Oh, yay.
And those chicken wings were so good.
My Korean chicken
Yeah, those
wings.
are so good.
I need to make a video tutorial at some point. But
And my favorite of myself. You know, I'm a procrastinator. I
Yeah.
have to admit, sometimes I just delay things that I don't want to do. But I did reorganize my closet.
yay, come on.
Finally got that done. So, you know, I do what I have to do, but I kind of came out of that procrastination this week. So that's
Go, mom. That was huge. That's like years and years worth of our childhood things were piling up and you tackled it.
Yeah.
We
And I
tackled
really
it
enjoyed
together.
looking at some of the stuff that I had saved, like those little notes and drawings that the kids had given me and cards written by other people. So it was nice. It was nice time for me to just sit and organize my closet. So that's my favorite of the week.
Yay, go, mom. Aw, this was such a cute episode. I love talking with you, mama.
Thank you,
I love
Amber.
you.
You're the best. You're so cute. I
Oh,
love you.
thank you, Mom. I'm so happy that we get to spend time together.
I know. Amber's so good.
And I'm happy that the people get to hear your words of wisdom because everybody needs a little
I don't know
advice
if
from
I'm really that
my mother every once in a while.
wise in any way.
I think you are.
But I think as you get older, I think you really do have different perspective in life.
it's good to widen your perspective a bit and think about the bigger picture sometimes.
Yes.
And I think this
Meaning
was a
of
good,
life.
Yeah. So this was a good episode to do all that. Thank you, Mom, for being on the
Thank
podcast.
you.
We love
Thanks
having
for
you.
inviting me.
Yeah.
Can I be the beautiful twin sister?
Oh yes, of course. Don't you know Ashley's
Our
been
other
replaced?
beautiful twin sister is too busy. She's
in
been
Utah.
traveling a lot.
Oh my goodness.
We missed you, Ashley.
Miss you. And we'll hopefully have her back next week.
Yes.
So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Beautiful twin sisters out.
Yeah.
All my
Beautiful twin sisters.
Sisters, beautiful twin